Hi everyone. Hello. Kem cho bada majama. So this is the special sessions today organized by GDG Ahmedabad, and the reason behind is that today's speaker is our very own Mr. Paresh Mani, and who has his birthday. So before we invite him, let's just wish them. And yep. So happy birthday, Paresh bhai. I hope you are listening. Are you there? Hello.
Hello
Hi.
everyone.
Hello. Kem cho Paresh bhai? How are you?
Fantastic. I'm doing
Awesome.
great and I'm excited.
Okay, wish you a very happy birthday.
Thank you so much, community team and all like my family member and everyone, those who have joined this session. Thank you so much from bottom of my heart.
So this is actually very special occasion that most of the time people want to spend their birthday with the family, with the friends, and here you are actually today with us to deliver a session. So, I mean, what is the motive behind that? Why you choose this today's day to celebrate your birthday with the community, and
Yeah.
what your take?
So I used to do charity work and some donation work towards social communities on my birthdays. I have celebrated so far, but due to COVID, we cannot go outside, and due to that, like got this opportunity. I always wanted to do some contribution towards developers community and communities out there, and there I got this opportunity to deliver this talk. I always wanted to organize event and deliver talk, and I got this opportunity. So I'm really excited to take it forward for sharing my community management experience. So far, I would say I have gathered a lot of stuffs to be shared, to be discussed with you, all of you who joined this session, and maybe they might join session later on.
So before we start the session, I just want to tell everyone that what we were discussing today in the morning. That and when I asked you the same question, you said that the community is like your second family, is like your extended family, and you want
Ab-
to utilize this opportunity with the most of the people to whom you can reach out.
Absolutely, absolutely. So I have enjoyed my probably 8 to 9 years, I would say, with the GDG community, and I have also contributed towards many other communities. So I have said, I have sacrificed, I have given my best and time and service to the community. So yes, you are right. We can say this is our second family with whom we are doing this contribution and sharing our knowledge and these all efforts that we are spending.
Awesome. So let's get started. That what you are going to share tomorrow, share today, and how we are able to, how we are actually going to take from your experience.
Sure, let's get started.
Over to you.
Awesome. So, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and everyone, those who joined this session. And at the end of this session, I might tell you a good night as well for some of you folks, and for American audience, it's morning. So, very good morning, and welcome to this session. I'm really excited, and I'm pretty sure you are excited to learn a lot of things as well. Let's take it forward. So, in my introduction, I'm at the rate Paresh Mayani, and in today's agenda, right? So, for starting, like since all of you are joined here online, so knowing agenda, knowing because it might be boring or it might be interesting, it might be relevant to your experience and your interest. So, knowing agenda would be really helpful. So, in this session today, I'll be covering these four topics: why you are an organizer, benefits of being an organizer, how to manage a community, and how to scale that community, challenges for the organizing team, right? So before that, before going ahead, I really would like to share one disclaimer. This session is exclusively for the organizers, those who have been managing community since quite a long time. Second, those who have just started managing community. Third, those who want to start and they might start in the future. Fourth, those who are thinking to start, but they may start or they may not start. So this is that audience, that class. They just join this session for the sake of side learning or for learning what we are doing as an organizer, and what all contribution they might make towards these towards particular community. So let's get started. As everyone said, yes, today is my birthday, and I'm really sparing 1 hour or 2 hours for this session, and I'm really excited. And I'm sparing this time as you all are a part of my extended family, right? As I said. Now, here I would like to share one video. So please watch it.
It has been one of the most popular ones, and I'm actually seeing that out here. Take part, network with folks, connect and grow more.
It was a great experience speaking to them. I had a lot of queries from people who want to start up. It's one of the communities you should definitely look forward to meeting. I've seen the numbers growing over the years, and not just numbers, but it's been a community where people have enriched knowledge, spread a lot of love to be one of the finest communities of developers and startup enthusiasts in India.
This is my first time at GDC Ahmedabad, and I gave my talk on fun with Flutter animations. And it was amazing to see lots of good response and lots of enthusiasm and energy you get on the Saturday on the weekend about, and people from colleges and even from different types of companies, different parts of India coming here and want to learn Flutter and animation in Flutter, and not even Flutter, like other talks, Android, Kotlin. So it was pretty great to see all those people interacting with other speakers, other contestants, and it was overall a great experience.
This was a very great talk. Like the audience which I got was very interactive and a fantastic audience.
DevFest Ahmedabad was quite an experience that I cannot forget all my life.
I'm pretty sure all of you have enjoyed this video thoroughly, right? So I really wanted to share like what we have done so far. We founded GDG Ahmedabad way back in 2012, and before that I was contributing towards other communities as well. And so this presentation is particularly summarizing that my experience and for sharing my experience and best practices and stops that you would be taking care as an organizer, and how you can manage and how you can scale up this community, right? So like very first question, why you are when you are managing community, first thing you must have to know, or when you are starting any community, first you have to realize, first you have to know why you are an organizer, what roles do you play as an organizer, right? So these things we should be knowing. Why? When you are having girlfriend, boyfriend and family, right, still you have started this community, and you are sacrificing your personal time, and you are trying to contribute something, and those efforts you are putting, right? So first thing, solving out problems. So we are the organizers there for the community for solving out problems. Say for example, GDG Madurai, one of the GDGs of India, they have solved some of the problems. First, they developed a police cop application for their local state, and then second, recently they developed one application for tracking COVID patients. So such kind of problems we solve out together for the community, right? Through the efforts of community. So if everyone joins hands together, then we solve out these problems. But someone has to take the torch in hands and take it forward. So that's you as an organizer. Second, inspiring many out there, right? So as an organizer, it's our role and responsibility that we do such activities and stops so that we would be able to inspire a lot of peoples out there in the community. So for GDG Ahmedabad community, I would say those are the developers, those are the managers and engineering manager, technical managers, basically IT fields, right? So we are doing these all activities for inspiring, for sharing success stories, and those all sort of activities. Now, adding values to the community. So as I said, we are there for solving out problems, right? But before that, we have to add values to the community. So how we add values to the community? By connecting the dots, right? So what all dots we connect? Here, students, engineers, managers, companies, HR recruiters, marketers. I would just share one basic example. Uh, Say for example, students are there who always look for internship and jobs. I mean, when they are out from their engineering college, right? So they always look for the internship, summer internship, and the job when they are done with their graduation. And there are engineers and managers and basically software engineers and people, those who are looking for change, right? So, and there are companies who always in search of the right set of talents, right? So at GDG Ahmedabad, we are connecting that dot, and at your community, you will be connecting these all dots. Like you will be getting openings and jobs from the community, and then you are sharing those openings and jobs and opportunities, maybe products, maybe applications that they are developing. So you will be sharing these all stuffs with the community. They will be trying out those all stops, and will be sharing with they will be trying out, and they will be sharing feedback and these stops, right? So so basically we are the responsible, it is our role and responsibility that we connect all these dots. Now moving forward, so as always, I believe in that doing something is better than doing nothing, right? So there is very another popular quote: if you are born poor, if you are born poor, it's not your mistake, but if you die poor, it's your mistake. So we are the organizers who want to do something out of our passion, out of our time, out of our energy. So we want to do something, we want to give something back to the community, right? So is that clear? I mean, that role that we play as an organizer. Now, now second question. There are I like during the span of like these 10 years of experience, community management experience, I have come across a lot of questions like, "Hey, Paresh, what benefits you are getting as an organizer? Why you are putting so much efforts?" Like this question also like every now and then come to our organizing team of GDG Ahmedabad, right? So we always like first we put a smile on our face, because we know directly, indirectly, there are a lot of benefits. So I would really like to highlight these, share some of those benefits. So those who are just starting with the community as an organizer, or those who are going to start, or those who may start in future, so you will be having, you will be knowing these all things. First thing you first thing is exposure. So being an organizer, first direct indirect benefit is exposure. So this one pick is, I think, enough to say like what all exposures I have received so far through this community, right? So I have been to Google I/O, yes, USA, for attending Google I/O, and then I had attended Global GDG Summit, wherein there were many organizers from all the countries across the world. Second, I have been to Turkey twice, and I have been to Sri Lanka for attending again GDG community. So exposure, right? So such exposure we get. All of you might not be lucky one to get these all exposure, but slowly and gradually it will take time, and slowly and gradually you will be getting such benefits, such indirect benefits and exposure. So first thing, like, what do you mean as an exposure? What all things are there in the exposure, right? So you get to meet a lot of people, you get to experience a new culture. uh, you get to make a strong bonding, you get to make a strong network. So these all things will going forward, these all things will be helping you out, maybe when you are starting your job, or when you are starting your company. So, and when you are having your application or product ready, and when you are looking for the user base, right? So if you are an organizer, community organizer, you will be having that networking database ready, you will be having that connection, a strong connection in the community, and it will be really helpful. First, a second benefit that we all get is personal branding. So every now and then, we used to organize events. So we go to colleges, we go to companies, and we go to certain hotels and venues, and there we get to meet a lot of people, like 100 or 200, 300, right? So you are making networks, and then slowly and gradually you are making your personal branding stronger, right? So there are many people out there who have said something, yeah, like one of the common and one of the most popular quote is, "Your brand isn't what you say it is what Google say it is." Right. So in simpler term, I have just introduced myself, like I'm at the red Paresh Mayani, right? So I mean, if you are interested, you will be definitely searching out, and you will be getting a lot of content. So that's my branding. So you can ask this question to yourself, like, what's your branding? So if you are an organizer, then you will be leaving footprints on the web and in the Google database, and that's how you'll be making your branding stronger. Now, moving third point, networking, right? So as I said, you are there on the social media, but obvious, because you are an organizer, so you have to be in touch with the community members and the companies, and all the different dots of the community, right? Now, like, what all benefits you get? So as I said, like, say for example, if you are building a product, or if let's say you yourself is looking for a job, or let's say someone from your family, or someone from your friends network, someone from your community is looking for a job, or they are facing some issues in their products, right? So having networking power, you will be able to solve out, you will be able to connect two entities, two person, and you will be able to solve out their problems. So networking is always a benefit. Your network is your net worth, right? So this is very like suitable quote, I would say. Learning. So as I said, learning is another indirect benefit of being an organizer. Like, what all learnings you do, right? Many of those who have worked with me during my these 10 years of experience into the IT industry and over the community management. So many of you might have observed how I have come a longer way and what all learnings I have personally done. So based on that experience, I would say I have improved a lot our communication skill. I did my 10th with 35 marks just for the passing score, and now you can see like I'm online and you are watching me. So but obviously I'm doing something, I'm sharing something great. And so there are, so we get to improve communication skills because you get to meet a lot of people from the different continents and countries, right? So their accents are different. So when you are meeting them over the net, over the web, or in presence, so you get to know about their accents and those all sort of things. uh, Second, technical skill, right? So when you are managing community, we get to explore a lot of new things. We get to know about like, hey, Apple is releasing these new product. Let's try it out together. Why to try out alone? So when you are not in the touch with community, you will be trying out alone. But when you are in touch with community, right? So there will be multiple hands joining you to try out that particular technical skill. Say, for example, recently Flutter is a hot topic in the industry, but obviously, like they have solved out many problems of mobile development, and then that we at GDG Ahmedabad have together started exploring that, and that's how you will be exploring. So, being an Android developer, I myself have tried other technical things like AWS and project management, as well as community management, as well as Flutter, React Native. So those all stuffs you get to explore along with managing your community, right? Because when you are managing community, you yourself as an organizer first have to explore. First, you have to know like what this particular technology is going to do, how it is beneficial, what all things it provides, and basically getting started with it. So you'll be at least trying your hands on over it. People management, right? So uh, this is not a company, but this is a community, right? But you have to manage a lot of people in your team, core organizing team, in the social media team, and maybe people out there who are attending this event. So such all tactics you learn, such all practices of people management you get to learn, you get to explore, you get to experience while managing community. Time management, very much important point while managing community. We never know how much time we will have to put out of our office schedule and personal schedule, but that that will teach you, that will make you learning uh, these skill, time management skill, really practical way, I would say. Places and culture. So as I said, so when you are managing community, you get to meet a lot of people, and you will be coming in touch with people from the different continents, countries, and states and cities, and they are having their own culture. They are having their own languages. They are having their own problems and barriers, right? So you will be experiencing such things like places and culture, right? So that's also a learning. As I said, when you are starting a company, or when you are when you are building any product, these all learning will be really helpful to you. Now, moving forward, very the main part of these presentation, like for the same, you are here now. Most of you are here, I would say, how to manage and how to scale community, right? These 7 points I will be focusing during next slides. Motivation, the very first step. Second, execution, the very first challenge. Third, continuity. So continuity and consistency matters a lot when you're managing community. So I have seen, based on my experience, I have seen like there are people who start community like by creating a meetup group and by paying initial fee. they host one or two events and then they run away from the community. So these are the people who are not passionate, who are just starting community by looking at others. So my friends, community management is not everyone's cup of tea. You have to be passionate. Your willingness towards contributing community, that comes into the picture. You want to do something, you want to contribute something, you want to give something back to the community, right? So I'll be covering like how to maintain that continuity and consistency of organizing events and doing activities for the community. Fourth, evaluation. So we always see when we are working in the company and when we are managing community or when we are doing something, we always look for the feedback and ideas. So we collect those ideas and feedback, and then based on that, we evaluate those topics and points that we received, and then based on that we evaluate something, and then based on that we take it forward. And fifth point, I will be covering appreciation. Sixth, innovation. Seventh, connections. So these all stops I will be covering. So please stay tuned. I'm pretty sure are you all with me, and you all are enjoying. Are you all enjoying? Are you still with me? Please write in comments. Please feel free to ask questions and put your questions and stops. We'll be taking questions in between. Okay, moving forward, motivation. So first thing, like what motivates you start the community, right? So one idea to help people. So you start community for helping out people out there in the community, right? So in early days, I'm just sharing my experience, like how we started GDG Ahmedabad and how we had hosted very first event, right? So in early days, we all were learning over the web by through the blogs, tutorials, and PDFs, and then just over Stack Overflow, exchanging our questions, thoughts, and over different forums for sharing codes and snippets, and then sharing problems like, hey, I am facing this issue. Based on that, your experience, can you please help me? And that fellow is sharing experience, problems, and then helping you there, right? Okay. So how we started? So at one day, like me and Drumil both met. Before that, I had actually started GDG Ahmedabad and had hosted one event, but that was just a small scale. So we both used to discuss over web. Hey Paresh bhai, you are doing part-time tutoring, and you are contributing towards a small community. And we met at that place, and we we did brainstorming, and then we just started, and then Dhrumin.
Yeah, so I just want to add over here that why we, just share that how actually, we just got connected. So this is very interesting thing that we just got connected from the Facebook page, and that particular Facebook page is run by the Prajat Menkar, who was actually the GDG Goa organizer, and he used to run one Facebook page where he used to call one expert on their Facebook page, and when if anyone have a question, he just started typing, and that expert will answer. So on that day, I posted a question, and that the expert was unable to answer as he didn't got a chance to explore that problem. But yeah, the Parish man, the Parish bhai responded to that question, and that's how we both connected. And and after having that conversation, we found, we both are living in the same city. Let's just just catch up over the coffee. And meanwhile, he also able to connect some other people from his group. I'm not if I'm not wrong, Parish bhai, you got some your friends who were quite active on the Stake Overflow at that time with you, right?
Correct, correct. So as I said, like I had hosted very first event, not under the GD Ahmedabad, but also like before that I was doing contribution, doing events for the students and for the small scale. But And then one day I got an opportunity to attend one event at Devfest Gandhinagar, and then I started contributing to that community. And one day, as Drumil mentioned, we both got in touch over Facebook, and then we started discussing like, hey, you are doing part-time tutoring and teaching students. So why? Yes, I was teaching students MCA, Bachelor, BCA, and MCA students Unix and Java. And then I started exploring Android later 2009, and since then I started doing Android events for sharing my events. And so we basically, like, coming back to the point, me and Drumil both got in touch, and we discussed, we did brainstorming, and then at one day we got an email. I mean, we had applied for starting this chapter, but we got to know like there is already one GTAC Ahmedabad chapter. Like, previous organizer was managing, but he went idle. He actually relocated to USA, and so I tried reaching out to him, and then I got this opportunity to take the torch forward. And then one day me and Drumil got in touch, and we discussed for hosting inauguration event, right? So that's a story, like how we got started. So from GTAG branding of GDG. Currently it's GDG, but earlier it was GTAG. So that's how we got started. Now, the first set of challenges, right? Drumil, you want to say something?
Uh, I mean, before I share, this is like the biggest challenge was that both of us were, I mean, we were like totally new, and for us, like how we will do this, So this is all about like just finding all the question, how, what, where, to whom, who will come to listen us, what content we will share, like, and what will the venue, I mean, how we will do the all the questions were there, and that was kind of the big challenge. I still remember how we were able to just continuously on phone and just figuring out that what can be done.
Yes. So when you are an organizer, coming back to point, like, we'll do our story later on, but yes, what all execution challenges I mean, first set of challenges you will be facing when you are starting with the community, right? First event. So you will be having a lot of questions. What contents we should deliver, right? Who will deliver? I mean, in speakers will be your speakers helping you out for delivering that particular content and that decided set of topics. To whom you will deliver? I mean, who will be the participants? How you will be getting participants? What all activities you will be doing so that there will be participants in the audience? Where to deliver? That problem is a venue problem we all used to face. How to deliver, right? So whether you are like, there are challenges like how you will be delivering those sessions, by presentation or by your web, or in what medium exactly. So the answer we were looking for is, will people attend, will you enjoy, will people interact? So these all stops that we always face, right? So now solution, I would say is, first decide the set of topics that you want to cover, right? So that could be, initially you will not be having audience, you will not be having community members, right? So you cannot go and ask to those what all topics you are expecting, right? So initially you do not have that, but when you are starting community, when you have already started community, right? So you will be having a certain experience and certain set of skills, right? So just organize events based on your experience and your skill set, right? And then currently, like, social media is really very powerful tool. At the same time, it's like, it can go like, it can create problems as well, but putting aside, so just try to leverage the power of social media, so you can announce those events over social media. So we had announced our first event over Facebook and Twitter, And then I was just exploring Twitter that during those days, and I was not much aware about hashtags and all those sort of things. But through the Ahmedabad community, I got to explore. I mean, from some of the Ahmedabad digital influencer like Jaydeep Parekh, Mitesh Sanghvi, Amit Panchal, Harendra, and Jignesh Thanke, and those all are my good friends. So being in touch with them, I really got to know those all tips and practices. So you can do that. Just announce your event over Facebook, and in first event, I mean, do not worry. In first event, you might get even 5 or 10 participants only. That's fine. I mean, because you want to. I mean, it takes time. Everything takes time, and like for recent example, I will give you, right. So far we have hosted like in-person events, right, physical events. Now we have just, due to COVID, we have just started hosting online events. So during our first event, working from home, like that online event, we had just 20 to 30 online viewers. Now, this event, we are having, I guess, 50 to 70 almost, or maybe more than that. I'm not able to see that, but yes, previous event we get we like there were 100 plus viewers watching our session, previous session that we hosted with Romin sir. So point is, everything takes time, right? Everything takes time. So just do not see the bigger picture. Just expect small thing. Start with the event, very first event, host it. You might have 5 to 10 participants. That's fine. I mean, nothing wrong. Eventually you'll be getting in touch with many more people and many more participants. So as I said, community is not a competition nor a company, right? So remember that statement and sentence, right? So where to deliver and how to deliver. So these were the problems, initial set of problems we all organizer face when we start with the community, right? So just try to reach out to companies, or maybe if you are not reaching out to company, then reach out to colleges in your city. So they are always ready to give their venue. They are always ready to spare their Saturday and Sunday venue, right? So, but how you can achieve these, right? How you can make them happy? So just say you'll be allowing their 20 to 30 percentage of the students or participants to attend this event, and I mean direct entry without putting any tickets or anything, any other barriers, right? So that's how we had hosted event at Ahmedabad University by offering them free tickets and by putting rest of the tickets online. So that's how we had hosted very first event on 15 September 2012, right? Now, what next? So as I said, first event we had hosted. Now how, like, I'm just saying like by sharing my experience, like how we did, so that you will be able to connect yourself if you are an organizer, or if you want to be, or if you are going to start one community, or if you are aiming to start one community, right? So maintaining continuity, as I said, like, is really important factor. One day you will definitely start community by just hosting 1 or 2 events, and then midway you will left, right? That example I gave you. So nominate someone who can take your take this torch forward and can continue with the community. So how to maintain continuity and consistency. So first, reach out to more, understand your community members' success. So as I had said, let's say we have hosted very first event, and then how we can take it forward to the wider audience and can have more participants, more speakers, and everything. I mean, more stops, right? First thing, customer success. So for any business, customer success matters a lot, and customer is the only king for the business, right? So for community, they are community members. So believe me, making them successful will make you successful. Remember this sentence. Now, how you will be able to make them successful. Listen to them, obtain feedback, gather events, topics, ideas, provide them support, uh, collect proposal from the community, whether it's speaker proposal or venue proposal, and stay connected with your community and help them in staying connected with the community members, right? So as I had said, remember, we are connecting the dots. Now, how you will be able to listen, I mean, why we should listen to them, and how, why and how, right? First, listen to your community member, understand their expectation, understand what they really want to achieve, understand what they really want to do, right? So try to understand that, listen to them. Say for example, one of our community member had provided feedback, like so we were gathering ideas during our previous event, and then we gather these idea. So they couldn't make it to our event, right? Their first event, and there they wanted us to record our session or host event remotely so that they can attend, right? So currently you are attending events from various remote locations, and I'm really happy and satisfied that we listen to you, and we have accomplished that goal, right? So always listen to them. Be a professional. Being only professional won't last long to be a community hero. So be a community hero, and don't be very much professional. Be friends with them, listen them, gather information, and uh, allow them sharing information, right? Collect feedback. So managing community through community is the mantra here, and feedback plays a major role for getting overall picture about the session, talk, and webinar. So at the end of the session, we always collect feedback. Yeah, how was the sessions? How was the session? How was the event? What went wrong, and what we can do to make it much better next time. So feedback gives insight about the improvements required silently, right? So always, as an organizer, as a community organizer, always try to collect feedback from your community members and understand their problems, understand their need, and then what they enjoyed and what they really want to see during your next event. So basically, it's all about gathering ideas. So as an organizer alone, you will be able to run your small and big like upper head, but together as a community organizer, you will be having access to thousands of minds, right? So, and those minds will be having a lot of ideas, tons of ideas. I mean, so collecting ideas from people will definitely give you an opportunity to take at least one or two ideas forward and get the outcome, get the make the impact together. So I gave you an example, like one of our participants, like there were many participants who always requested us doing online events and recording our sessions so that and uploading them over YouTube so that they can watch it later as per their convenience, as per their time zone, and their comfort zone, right? Keep the community warm. So this is really very much important. How you will be able to make the community warm, keep the community warm, right? So always be in touch with community member, be accessible, be in touch with them, right? Engage them in different ways or social media, right? Whether it's like whether you can host an event, online event, or any game or any activities. So engage them in different ways. Maybe you can meet offline and you can plan out an event, and you can do some activities like any offline game, or maybe you plan out a hackathon, or maybe you just plan out a coding competition for small set of groups, right? So engage them with in different ways over social media. Share the content. So I always prefer, like, speakers are putting a lot of efforts, like they for preparing 1 hour session. It's just not 1 hour session. Like speaker, they have put a lot of efforts for preparing 1 hour session. So I used to spend on an average 5 to 7 days for preparing one session for at least 5 to 7 days. Before that, I used to do paperwork. Drumil might be having like Drumil, you want to share something like how
No,
we prepare?
no, I mean about I don't want to share here, but we have one question from the comments. So the Siddharth Dayalwal, I hope I pronounced your last name correctly. He's asking, while collecting feedback, is it a good option to collect it anonymously?
Definitely. Whether it's anonymously or with the name, it doesn't matter because ultimately it's a feedback, right? So just collect it in whatever form it is, whether it's in physical paper copy or email or over Twitter or tweet, positive, negative, or whatever. Like maybe some of them will be sarcasm, right? They will be sharing sarcastic comment. So everything is all right. So it doesn't matter. I mean, and whether it's whether you collect anonymously or with the name, it doesn't matter. I mean, and definitely anonymous is a good format, and collect it. I mean, simple.
I mean, I guess there can be, the another usefulness also of the collecting feedback. Maybe if you want to just to understand that what kind of event you want to plan, so that so there might be, you can just add the field that, hey, you can add your name or email, so that you can reach out to them that hey, this is what we are planning next. What exactly you are looking for this kind of the subject. For example, if you are planning an event for the cloud, so what exactly in the cloud your community member are actually expecting. So there are both the ways. So what kind of feedback you are looking for, you can make it like anonymously, or you can make it like compulsory to provide the name, or you can just put it like an optional if anyone want to put, and then can, right?
Yes, maybe you can put it a poll or Slack or maybe or Meetup. So there way you will be able to collect anonymous feedback, right? You just have a poll, you are thinking to host community management 101 event, and let's say I would have hosted this and I would have collected this feedback, like whether you are going to attend or not. So you can do that. So it can be of any form. Okay, continuing with the presentation. So reach out to, so keep the community warm, right? So I was about to share that point, like all the speakers put efforts. So share their, help them in sharing the contents. Those who have just open source one repository, build one example. So help them in sharing the contents, right? So in a way you are helping one member in reaching out to multiple members, right? So help them in sharing the content and keep sharing the content so that the person who want to explore, let's say Flutter, they will be jumping in, they will, and then they will learn Flutter. Those who want to start with machine learning, and if you have shared content for them, then they will pick it up. So keep sharing contents. Now reach out to those who are looking for knowledge and target them. So just reach out to people, reach out to companies, reach out to universities, reach out to colleges, and there you will be finding your user base, right? New user base. In one event, you might be getting maybe 50 or 60 or 70 participants, and at this stage of GDG Ahmedabad, I believe and I know, like we are still yet to reach out to many out there in the community who haven't been to GDG Ahmedabad community. So we always try to reach out to them so that they can come forward. They start attending events. They start coming on the stage, and they start delivering talks and sharing contents and sharing their experience and expertise. Now encourage member to give talk and participate in any activities, right? So let's say during your first event you might be the person who are delivering talk, but in future you will be in the need of helping hands, right? So there, if you mentor your community member, if you encourage them, hey, you are exploring Android since 1 or 2 years, how about sharing your expertise? You have built really a cool example, so let's let's plan out an event and let's share it with all in the community, right? And such kind of mentorship, such kind of guidance to community members, it will enable them, and it will help them in coming forward and share their experience and knowledge. And always make them local heroes, make them influencers in the community. Those who are doing something great, highlight them, highlight their efforts, highlight their applications, highlight their products, and make them local heroes. And if you make them local heroes, then they will owe you a lot of credits back to your community and you, because you have made them local heroes. It's not you, but it's just because of their hard work, and you just help them in reaching out to many, right? So mentor them and make them local heroes and influencers. Now, staying connected and help them staying connected. Say, for example, I am not in the touch with community currently, and I'm doing alone. I'm happy, but I just started attending events, and then let's say I started attending GDG Ahmedabad events, right? So having in like, if I get access to the fellow community members, I will be able to learn a lot of things. But where is the platform? So being a community organizer, you provide them a platform so that your community members, they will be able to connect with each other. You as an organizer, you won't be able to solve out everyone's problems, right? But having one group, let's say WhatsApp group or Slack group, it will allow them discussing out their problems. Let's say we have a Slack group at GDG Ahmedabad, and then I used to see like a lot of questions and lot of stuffs, lot of articles being shared every now and then, and people used to make comments, used to discuss, used to say this is wrong, this is not a good practice, this is the best coding practice that we should be following. So such kind of things happens if you allow them staying in touch with the community, in touch with the companies, in touch with the all the different dots of the community, right? So, and as I had said, like as an organizer, you are connecting the dots, right? So how? So so if you allow companies to be a part of this group, then they will be able to share about, they will be able to talk about their products. They will be able to share their jobs and openings they have. So they are always in they are always looking for the right set of talents, right? So if you allow such companies sharing their jobs, openings, and products, then there will, in the same group, there will be the right set of talents. So basically, you are allowing them staying connected and helping them in being in touch with the community and solving out such issues through the power of community, right? And third point, this one. So allow them sharing their achievement and accomplishments. So I said, like, if you mentor people, if you guide them, they will be achieving a lot of things. And then you allow them sharing their achievement and accomplishment. Let's say they have built one example, they have built one application, they have built one let's say a product. So if you allow them sharing their achievements and such accomplishment, then it will help them in taking it to the wider audience. And that's what a benefit, side benefit of any community, right? So that is the power of community. Diversity, right? So maintaining continuity. So if you focus on diversity and make them inclusive, make your community inclusive, then you will be able to reach out to the wider audience. You will be able to manage the diversity in your community, right? So there are problems in all the community. So understand hurdles for women in tech, right? So what all problems they are facing, what all hurdles they are facing. Say, for example, they are socially responsible, right? For your family, for you, maybe, and for the company, and they are also managing their duty job along with managing social responsibility. They are having fear, and and due to time limitation and a lot of other things, they are facing hurdles, right? So understand the hurdles and provide them a platform. Maybe you can host exclusive events for women tech makers community. Those who want to, those all women, those who want to, do something for the community. So just host exclusive events. Let's say we have hosted every year we host women tech makers event, and then we give priority to women participants mostly. So 80 to 90% we invite, we give them priority to attend this event. And Dromil, I'm getting noise disturbance. Okay, sorry for the interruption. So have a separate communication for channel for them. So we at GTG Ahmedabad, we have a separate channel wherein we have only women members, right? So that is allowing them one channel, one medium, so that they can share their thoughts, ideas, what they really want to do for the women's community particularly. So basically it's all about provide them a platform, inspire them to join hands, right? So being a, let's say we have Dhruva Sastry managing our women wing of the GDG Ahmedabad community. She has been doing a lot of activities and events, and she is trying to help and inspire as many as women there out in our Ahmedabad community. And even we have tried reaching out to the wider audience in our state, in our country. So just try to inspire them. Then like those who are not attending events, maybe you can pass message to their friends or their companies or their college and universities, right? So at one point of time they will start attending event because you are doing events every now and then, right? So it will inspire, it will motivate them, it will ignite that they should also attend such events. So inspire them, motivate them, reach out to underrepresented groups and communities. So as I said, try to reach out to your colleges, companies, and organizations, and maybe startup accelerators or such startup ecosystem and spaces. So reach out to such entities wherein you will be getting in touch with underrepresented groups, those who haven't been to your events. So having diversity and inclusiveness will help you in maintaining the continuity and taking your community forward with multifold. Now, evaluation, right? So let's say you have gathered ideas, you have collected feedback, you have heard, you have listened to them, and lot of things you have gathered. Now, just do evaluation. Understand your own community. So as I said, do research, take polls, and then based on all this data that we have collected so far, just evaluate it. What time and format is best fit for your community? It's always not necessary that you just keep on doing events over the Saturday, because just take a look at like how many of them are having working Saturday, right? So let's say based on our data, we have found like hosting event on first and third Saturday might not work for our community. So we have started with second and fourth. So based on certain data, you take decision. Hosting event over Sunday morning might make it people getting disturbance. Okay, so might make it worth. So which time and format is best fit? So evaluate search. Look for collaboration for logistic and venue, right? So let's say you have tried reaching out to the wider audience. Let's say companies, colleges, co-working space, and those. So you have that data, right? So now you need to try to evaluate which company venue is best fit for a particular event, right? Now, participants feedback. As I said, you might collect feedback online, offline, in person, or review from forums or social media posts. Some of them might have reach out to you, or some of them might have written blogs, or some have said some sarcastic comments, positive, negative, or whatever comments they have shared. So just evaluate those feedback and comments, and based on that you take decision what works for your company and what is going to work for your company, community, sorry, and what is not working for your community. So just stop that and just focus on what works for your community, right? Now, how you'll be doing innovation. So since you have done evaluation, let's do innovation. Try different formats. Maybe you can try out session, workshop, study jam, or just video viewing party, as we are just doing, right? So as we have locked out ourselves since last 21 days in India, and maybe in other countries, you have locked out yourself since quite many days, right? So here we got this idea like we cannot go outside and do event. Let's start doing a video party. So before that, we had collected feedback offline from active participants by sending them an email. Hey, would you be able to? Do you really want to join us via YouTube or maybe like? And internally, we decided one day, let's do video online video event, and we'll be doing feedback session, feedback round, right? And based on that, we received feedback, and then we did that this innovation of hosting online events. So due to COVID or whatever problems it would be, doing innovation and trying out unique things will help you taking your community forward. So just try out different formats. It's always not necessary to do 45-hour session or doing sessions in English format only. Maybe you allow people doing communication, allow doing sessions in maybe Gujarati, Hindi, or whatever language, Turkish language, or let's say Urdu or any language, allow them doing it. So just try out that format, and based on that feedback you see what happens exactly. Try different topics, right? So tech, non-tech, beginner, intermediate, and expert level sessions, right? It's always not necessary that you host technical events. So this event particularly is an example. Like we are not hosting this event just for the technical people, right? But for the non-technical people as well, for the non-community organizer as well, right? So just try out different topics and then different expertise level session. It's always not necessary that you host expert level people, right? But you also host events for targeting, let's say, students or those who are just getting started with Flutter, or those who are just getting started with Python or machine learning or any other upcoming things, right? So try out. It's not wrong whether you are whether you are 8 years experienced community or whatever your community experience level. It doesn't matter. Basically, you have to be inclusive. You should be doing events for all students, experienced people, intermediate, advanced, or whatever level it would be. Try to do events for all. Try out different topics for all. Try differently skilled people. As I said, first time speaker, regular speaker, pro speaker, right? So it's always not necessary that you invite, you must be having experienced speaker, those who have been to many events and those who are doing extremely well. So getting them will, make your community a spark or make your community really famous. As I said, like community is not a competition, nor a company, nor a business, right? So just allow uh, allow community members delivering talk, mentor them, help them in preparing presentation, and give them a stage. So and being an organizer, you tackle the audience and you manage the audience. You get the audience according to that particular comfort zone of that speaker or expert level of that particular speaker, right? And try out different venues. So such innovation you can do, like we have hosted events at universities, office spaces, even at Open Park we did one event, but that was just for the small group of people. Even you can do events at a cafe or town halls, right? So we had hosted our one DevFest event at Gujarat Convention Hall. That was like very big hall, but that space was just not any corporate world or not any particular such kind of thing where you can get leverage of students or many community members there present or doing some jobs or things. So you try out different venues. Connections. As I said, let's say that we did innovation. Now let's understand the power of connection. Let's do connection. Let's do meaningful connection and meaningful networking as an organizer, and allow your community doing meaningful networking and connection. Right. So first thing first, strong bonding with the team itself first. So being an organizer, maybe you are running your community alone, but you will not be able to do that. I will cover that part later. But so if you have the team, if you have built the team, co-organizing team, then have a strong bonding with them. Enable first. You have to do people management there. So make them successful, help them achieving something, maybe finding out job, or maybe building out product, or maybe at a personal capacity help them. So further, if you make them successful, they will understand. They will understand what you really want to achieve as an organizer, and what we are. I am in on which mission and vision we are managing with the community. Right? Be accessible to the community people. So as I said, having be in touch with community members or social media, or maybe in the close group, Slack group or WhatsApp group. Be accessible to them, say hi and hello, and understand their needs. Maybe on a personal scale, I always try to learn what they are developing. So at the same time, I'm trying to understand, I am trying to learn newer stuffs from them as well. And that's how I grow as an organizer, right? So be in touch with them, uh, and reach out to the companies to get more insight about the community need. So community is all about different doors, right? So reach out to different companies in your ecosystem, in your city or state, right? And understand their need, what they really want to do. Let's say they have built one product, help them in promoting, help them in getting users, help them in finding out right set of talents, and help them in spreading their jobs to a wider space. Collaborate with other community in your region, right? So it community is just not like, let's say in your city right now. I'm pretty sure these days there are a lot of communities out there in your city. So it's your community is not the only community in the city. Believe that, and you have to believe that whether you are doing events in 5 years, 7 years, or 10 years, or whatever, at whatever level your community is, do not do not, I mean, it's not just you or your alone community. Try to collaborate with other community. Let's say we have so far collaborated with many communities like EHI, and we have helped our fellow communities like Flutter Ahmedabad, GDG Cloud Ahmedabad, and those all communities in our Ahmedabad city. So collaborate with them and do something together as well. Do some events together. That way you will be able to, deliver more, help more, and contribute more. And always do not forget your past sponsors and supporters, right? Do not forget, help them. I mean, maybe you can give them free slot. Let's say they have paid, they have sponsored something. Let's say a Momento in this event, right? So also, like, this is one of the very good way to get sponsor. Like, allow them sponsoring Momento. Just allow them putting their logo or maybe name on the Momento, and give that memento memorable memento to speakers, so that person will be remembering it forever. So maybe you have taken a memento sponsorship for one event. Maybe you can provide free slots to next event, future events, maybe any events you are doing and you have that space, so you just allow them. So far we have collaborated with many companies like Let's Nurture, Simform, Ecosmoke, 9SPL, and many more companies out there in our Ahmedabad community. So, and this list is not just small list, but it's a bigger list. I cannot like go and taking their names, but yes, it's bigger list. So have the I mean build the list of such companies list and build the database, and do not forget them. Always keep them updated. Let's say you are doing some events, whether they want to contribute something, whether they want to promote something, whether they want to sponsor something. So stay in touch with them. Do not forget their contribution and activities. Now, speaker management. So this is the connection, right? Power of connection. So speakers management. So I have seen communities, those who invite speakers and then they just forget. So I would say do not forget them. Keep them updated, because speakers are the king for your event, for your community, right? So they put hard efforts for preparing one session. So allow them sharing contents, allow them reaching out to wider audience, give them shout out or social media. So during our Devfest Ahmedabad event, you must have seen, and during in fact our during our all the events that we have hosted so far, you must have seen we give shout out to them over social media, right? Whether it's online event or offline event or whatever formats we are doing, we give them a shout out and we make them hero, because they are putting efforts for you, for your community. So why not to highlight their efforts? Because for community, GDG Ahmedabad community, we haven't taken for 90 to 95 percentage. We haven't accepted any token amount from any participant. At the same time, we do not give any fees to any speaker, right? So how the community runs, how you will be able to manage this community without fund, right? So maybe you will be having sponsorship from company like Google, like GDG Ahmedabad. We get support from them, not in terms of monetary, but in terms of venue, food, and those all logistics stuffs. And so, point is. Like help people reaching out to the wider audience, make help them in building portfolio. So we speakers prepare contents and prepare sessions, right? So in a way we always have some small set of expectations, like they will be able to get in touch with fund, investors, right? Maybe they will be able to get in touch with user base. Maybe they are just doing for their happiness, right? So there are such set of people, right? So we expect nothing. At the same time, we can give at least something to something from the community. Power of community. So help them in building portfolio, connect and help them in reaching out to wider audience, record their sessions, give them momento, give them that name base, right? As I had collected those bases, right? In previous slide, I have showcased that slide wherein I have collected a lot of badges. So that's my memory. That makes me happy when I look at such badges. Hey, yes, I have been to these all events, and this is my memory. So when so these all points come into the these buckets, speakers management. So try out different things as I have mentioned in this slide, and you'll be able to manage the speaker. So also, like we have different WhatsApp groups. Let's say Devfish under 2018, 17, and 16, and so far different events. And we inform them as and when we are coming up new and bigger events that we are doing. Or and otherwise, we always have proposal from speakers through emails or through meetup messages, or through different posts from social medias, right? So manage speakers very well, make them kings and make them community heroes. Getting external speakers. So I have seen like many communities, their participants always request, hey, if you can invite the speaker from Mumbai or from San Francisco or from Delhi, then they are doing really great. These old speakers, they are very much popular, and they are very much expert enough in particular stuff, right? So can you please invite them? How we can invite them? So I would say all the speakers do not have luxury of having company sponsored trips and fund, right? so they cannot afford travel, and and why would they put their money, I mean pocket money, money for such trips where they are going to get like indirect benefits only, right? Not direct benefits, right? So help them by collecting nominal fees. So during previous event I had said like we had invited Romin sir for having a cloud workshop, hands-on workshop, right? So at that time, like Romin sir is from Mumbai, so we had collected 150 bucks, 150 INR from each participant, and then we collected that fund from 50 participants, and then we sponsored a flight ticket to Romin sir and Momento and things like 5 to 10 participants. We had provided hands-on coupon so that they can purchase that coupon, and then they can buy that account, and then they can try out those things practically, right? So if you want to collect fee, then collect it, but I would say do not dive into the money management, because if you dive into the money management, then you have to be very clear enough in your money management, and share it with all the participants what all money you have collected, and where all money goes, and where you have invested all the money. Basically, it will be visible, but in case if they doubt on you, then you can have that clear stuff, because we are not doing community events for the sake of such indirect earning, right? But we are just doing events for the sake of doing something for the community. Help them by travel sponsorship. So as I said, like we had provided travel sponsorship to Romin sir. So even like recent example during DevFest 2019, we had one clause in our speaker proposal form. We are not going to, we may or we may not provide you travel or stay sponsorship. However, we had received 100 plus proposals, and then like we had received sponsors from our community, so we had fund, and then at one day we informed all of them for booking flight, and basically we had speakers from Punjab, Delhi, Pune and Bangalore and Mumbai, right? Kolkata as well. So we just asked them to book flight, and we had informed them that we will be able to reimburse just 50 percentage of their fee. However, based on the sponsorship, if we will get more, then we'll be doing more reimbursement. And at the end of the event, we did 100% reimbursement. So that's how you will be able to manage. You will be able to get external speakers. It's always not like your community, like Google or Facebook, supports that, but try to look at the local community. There are companies out there who can sponsor, or maybe you can collect nominal fee from participants, and then you give that small amount to speakers who are you know coming all the way from their location for delivering talk and doing events. So now moving forward, collaboration. So collaborate with domestic and global community. So as I had said during my previous slide, help fellow organizers for finding out speakers. So as I said, your community is not the only community in the city, right? So look at the other communities, their problems and what they are doing. So always have your eyes on them, what they are doing, what all formats they are doing, what all topics they are doing and delivering, and the things. So help them in finding out speakers, help them in finding organizing events. Maybe you personally like not just me, but complete GDG Ahmedabad team. We together helped out many GDG communities of India hosting and organizing their Fest 2019 season. So personally, I was helping out their Fest Kolkata for making social media. I mean, for managing their social media team. I was unknown. I haven't been to Kolkata. I mean, GDG Kolkata, and haven't delivered event. and I haven't talked to them in person. However, just like got in touch over WhatsApp, and I know Rivu and those team members, Indranil and those team members. And then one day I just said like, hey Rivu, I can help you for taking your DevFest event to the wider audience, and let's do it to the wider audience this time. Let's record sessions. Let's do these all shops and those all things. And one day we decided all these. We planned out some strategies, and then on-site team they did they played really great job. And then from offline, while being from Ahmedabad, I was just mentoring them over call, WhatsApp message, and hangout calls and all those of mediums. So that's how you collaborate. So Drumil went to Siliguri, and I went to Punjab. I went to Bhubaneswar. Dhruva went to Siliguri. So these all are the examples. That's how you collaborate with the domestic communities, right? And about your city communities, Drumil personally is managing Flutter interest, right? So he helped Flutter Ahmedabad community. I small said I have that experience and have that interest being into the business and entrepreneurship. So I always in touch with companies and basically like each kind of community, like just seeing like what all startups they are managing and what all events they are doing for the business community. So maybe you can invite them as well, or maybe you can help them solving out problems through the technical community and technical expertise and technical skill, right? So help them in organizing events by promoting, by organizing, or by being a mentor, guide them, or maybe you take mentorship or guidance from them, right? Now I own other community. As I said previously, like you just keep eyes on other communities, what all newest stuffs or innovative stuff, unique stuffs they are doing. It's not always you do all those things for your community. Maybe it will work out for your community, it will not work out for me, because there are many factors. Look at your geography, look at the local community, their need, their problems, but have your eyes on other communities. Get partners and sponsors joining hands together, right? This is the very first or very most important topics, I would say, while managing community. Having venue partners, building the database of venue partners, right? So I would say there are companies out there having just like 5 days working, 5 days a week, 5 days working a week policy, right? So their premises, their venues are open and available for Saturday and Sunday. So just reach out to them. Just share if you host this event, then like how you'll be able to help them out. Maybe they will be getting online presence, or let's say we put our Simpom logo or 9SPL logo, EcoSmob logo, and such companies logo on our website. So that's how they will be building out their presence, online presence, right? So add them as a venue partner or meetup page and website, and help them in building online presence. Give them due credits and branding opportunity. Maybe you can give them 5 minute slots for sharing about their products or services, or maybe jobs and openings, and help them in getting talent. So they always look for talents. They always in the need of talent. So as I have always so far I have kept on repeating that term. They are in the look of right talent. So because I have experienced that, I have managed that being an organizer of GDG Ahmedabad. So I have helped out many companies, and I have connected many talents to such companies that, hey, this person is looking for a job and you are having that opening. So why not to take it forward? Maybe why not to schedule an interview and take it forward? So such kind of things you can do, and that's how you will be able to manage venue partners, and you will be able to build the database. Getting sponsors. So always like there are questions. So this topic is really no really lengthier topic. I can go on and discuss a lot of things, but I will make it really short for this session. Do not do fake promises, right? Do not do fake promises. Just try to understand their need, what they really want to achieve, why they are supporting you, So understand them, their problems, their need, and things, right? Maybe they want to support you through video sponsorship, maybe just photo sponsorship, and they want to just put their logo on your website, or maybe they just want to give you them a shout out over social media, and maybe you can just give them 5 minutes 5 minutes speech during your event, at the end of the event, at the starting of the event, or in between multiple sessions, or different sub tactics you can do. So do this, and so basically look at, see how and what all values you will be able to add to them. And as always I said, uh, as always I said, it's not just about one event. Have them in future events as well. Give them opportunity in future events, maybe free or paid, and allowing them. So these are the things you can do to have them, right? Maybe you can allow them, like some examples I would say based on my experience, our experience from organizing DevFest event particularly, wherein for DevFest event we only get more number of sponsors, right? Rest of the events we just need venue sponsorship, or maybe Momento, or maybe just food sponsorship. But for bigger scale, when you are doing bigger scale event, you will be in need of many more sponsors, and so fund and budget and logistics, right? So so couple of examples. So first, a wristband, right? So those ₹2 or $2 band, and you just allow them putting their company logo, and it will go in hands of your participants. Let's say we had 400 participants. So by just having collected 800 rupees, or maybe let's say 800 rupees, you will allow them in reaching out to 400 participants, right? Or let's say second example, Momento. So you want to, so you are solving out two problems. You want to give something memorable to your speaker, at the same time you want to give shout out to your sponsor, right? So just take see, like there are 20 speakers, right? So let's say Momento, it will take $2 or five, or maybe $10 for Momento. Maybe you can give something like this, something like this, maybe. So this is just a small bulk of things, right? So maybe $2 or $10 thing. So just collect $200, and maybe 2,000 rupees or 20,000 rupees, and you are reaching out. That you will be able to put your logo on your website, and and in that Momento, and making it memorable for that speaker. You are going, I mean, as a company, you are going live over website, you are going live in the YouTube session, and such all things you can do. So these are different examples you can try out. You can see, right? Maybe you can, third example, recently during DevFest 2019 event we did, like we had one sponsor, Elastic, from whom we collected travel sponsorship, just like providing as much as to all the speakers. So we provided that sponsorship. So please, you can do that. Now, last but most important, this is so far so good. I'm pretty sure all of you have enjoyed session so far. Please feel free to put sessions and the things. So we'll be taking questions. I'm really happy to take questions. So last but most important, right? Now, do not run alone. As a community organizer, do not run alone. Based on my experience, in early days, me and Drumil were the only organizers, and midway we started getting more members. Chintan we met in Chimanbhai Patel College during one college event. Dhruva we met during our DevFest 2013. Jaldeep, we hijacked him during DevFest 2017 event, and since then he is with us. Utpal sir, like we did Mapathon event, and during that event he is with us. So Ritesh sir and Mitesh Sangvi, Pratik Patel. Pratik Patel is our like one of the community member who are with us, still with us. Though he is from Canada, but he is still with us, supporting us, mentoring us, and providing valuable suggestions for events. So, point is, do not run alone, but alone you can walk 1 mile, and together we can go infinite miles, right? So that's my mantra. So having the team. So recently we got a new addition, Hiren Dave. So Hiren is we met during one event, and then there we suggested like Hiren, we all of us are from mobile background. So if you can join us and take our web activities and web events and initiatives forward. So he said yes, and since then he's helping us out in doing web activities. So that's how you do events and you take it forward. So this is my team. This is the team of GDG Ahmedabad. We all are doing the events and activities, and we are the family. We meet offline. So as I said, so it's not community is not about hosting events. Do some offline activities. Meet them, meet community member, meet the team offline, right? And this is my and our social media team and our team members who are contributing since quite a long time. So this is our therefore social media team. Give big round of applause to them. I'm pretty sure they are currently busy. They are they are currently busy doing social media reach and helping us out in reaching to the wider audience. Really, thank you to all. And this list is not just to these all photos and team members. There are many out there. I cannot take name of all of them. It's quite a big list, but thank you to all, and thank you for the contribution. So for those who are attending this event, point is key takeaway point is have the team together. You can do many more events. Maybe one day you will have to go on a vacation due to a personal crisis or personal issues or personal emergencies. So you can freely go in the vacation, and meanwhile your fellow team members will be in the picture, will come forward and will do events, right? So, concluding this session, stay passionate and motivate community members to come forward, have the team, help yourself and help your community members and help your team. Do collaboration, motivate community members and mentor them, guide them, enable them, provide them a platform to come forward and do events, help sponsors and partners and get them on boards. And credits for these talk. Thank you so much, everyone. I have mentioned like banner and artwork and slide templates by Vatsal Trivedi. He has done like helped me in putting all the artworks and these all design and fancy stuffs. Contents and brainstorming that's together are done by the team Ahmedabad. So as always I say, as a speaker, as a community organizer, I take feedback, right? And we must take feedback from our fellow team members and fellow community members. So that's how I did for this session, and I really got a lot of contents and ideas, and kudos to them and thank you to them. Social media reached by the Blue Commandos team of GDG Ahmedabad. This is Blue Commandos team, and there are many more, but they are not there in these photos. Like Amit Panchal, Jaideep Parikh, Arendra, and then many others out there who are helping us out doing events and online reach. And 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 artwork shows, as I said, we took free pitch. And time is up. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining online. And I'm really looking forward to questions. Drumil, do we have questions or any suggestions or any points?
So before we move to
Drumil, there is a disturbance from you.
yeah, sorry, I guess that is not been avoidable because this is from outside of my home. So sorry
Okay.
for that. So before we actually conclude our session or we take any like questions or anything, so before that I just wanted to thank you so much for sharing your valuable time with the community and with all of us and sharing your insights that how actually the GDG and the community has started and how it will grow and how it will grow. So from the other side, it looks like it is very simple to just run a community or just to organize an event. But after sharing this all the details,
Drumel, we are getting a lot of disturbance. Yeah. So with this, we are ending this session. Thank you so much all for joining. Let's take feedback offline. I'm there on social media and you can reach out to me, Paresh Mayani, first name, last name @gmail.com. Paresh Mayani @gmail.com. Right? Okay. Thank you all. See you next time.
okay, bye everyone. Thank you. Stay safe, and wash your hands.
Yep. Stay safe and take care.